Good evening and thank you for joining us for today's news today, the 30th of June 2025. To begin with, let's take a look at stories that are making headlines. Lusaka City Council disburses 11.4 million kwacha in CDF loans to material constituency. Fuel prices reduced for July 2025. Ministry of Defense receives 17 million kwacha for ZNS volunteer skills training. And in international news, Iran demands US guarantee against strikes for talks. And in sports news, FAS president leads tributes at Mama Saili's burial. Icu Tv News to present the main news. My name is Emmanuel Zimba. The Lusaka City Council LCC has made significant strides in empowering the material constituency through the Constituency Development Fund CDF loans. According to Assistant Public Relations Manager Nyambe Bulumba, since 2022, the Council has disbursed a total of 11,460,014 kwacha to 242 local entrepreneurs, cooperatives, clubs, and individual businesses. He says the initiative is aimed at promoting inclusive economic development in the constituency by creating job opportunities, stimulating local enterprises, and improving livelihoods. Mr. Bulumba adds that LCC's continued investment reflects the government's commitment to empowering communities and unlocking the economic potential.
The Lusaka City Council has paid out 11.4 million kwacha in Constituency Development Fund CDF loans to beneficiaries in the material constituents between 2022 and 2025. A total of 242 local entrepreneurs, cooperatives, clubs, and individual businesses have received the support through this initiative aimed at fostering inclusive economic development in the area. This sustained investment shows the government's ongoing commitment to empowering communities by creating economic opportunities, stimulating local enterprise, and improving livelihoods. By supporting grassroots initiatives, the Council seeks to unlock the economic potential of material residents and contribute meaningfully to the broader development of the city of Lusaka. The City Council therefore remains committed in its mission to utilize the CDF as a catalyst for progress across all 7 constituencies, ensuring every resident has access to the resources and opportunities they need.
The Energy Regulation Board, ERB, has announced a reduction in fuel pump prices effective midnight of June 30th, 2025. According to the latest review, petrol will now sell at 28 kwacha per litre from 31.36, diesel at 23.13 from 25.12, kerosene at 21.98 from 24.79, and Jet A at 23.94 from 27.08. The ERB attributes the reduction to the appreciation of the kwacha against the US dollar by 11.20%, as well as decrease in premiums on the Tanzanian bulk procurement systems. Premiums for petrol dropped by 20.33%, while kerosene and Jet A saw a 5.64% decline. Additionally, the Tazama pipeline system contributed to low diesel costs through improved supply and reduced transportation premiums. Despite the rise in international crude oil prices in June 2025, the positive impact of the currency has gains and efficient procurement systems helped cushion local pump prices. The posted airfield prices, PAP, for Jet A at international airports have also been adjusted, with prices at Kenneth Kaunda International Airport, Lusaka, and Simon Mwera Kapwepo International Airport, Ndola, set at 23.94. Mufue International Airport at 27.18 and Hari Mwangankumbula Airport in Livingstone at 24.75. The board emphasizes that the changes reflect its commitment to ensuring fair and affordable fuel prices for all consumers. Ministry of Defense has received over 17 million kwacha to implement the voluntary Zambia National Service ZNS Volunteer Skills Training Program for youths. The release of the funds aims to reinstate the ZNS voluntary skills training, which ended many decades ago, as directed by President Hichilema. The training will benefit 7 youths from each of the 156 constituencies across the country in its first cohort. Applications by the youths to be trained will start in July 2025, with selection to be done by the end of the same month. The ZNS Volunteer Skills Training Program aims at equipping youths with entrepreneurial skills, enabling them to become self-efficient. Successful applicants will be trained at ZNS Skills Center in Eastern, Copperbelt, and Northern provinces. We go for our first break. Join us on the other side as we bring to you more in our local stories.
At the Information and Communications University, we're not just educating students, we're shaping the future of Zambia and beyond. With a global perspective, ICU offers cutting-edge programs in information technology, business, humanities, engineering, and education. We combine theory with practical skills, ensuring our graduates are ready for the job market.
Whether full-time or distance learning, our flexible programs cater to the needs of every student, creating pathways for success. ICU is driven by innovation, research, and entrepreneurship.
We empower our students to be leaders and change makers in their industries.
Through strategic global partnership, including collaboration with leading universities such as St. Petersburg State University and others, we give our students a competitive edge on the global stage.
Our graduates don't just earn degrees, they create impact. They are leading the way in ICT, business, engineering, and more, both locally and internationally. Join the Information and Communications University, where your future begins today.
Thank you for still staying with us, and now we continue with our news. Paramount Chief Mpezeni of the Ngoni people has appealed to the Football Association of Zambia FAZ to pardon Fashion Sakala for any alleged transgressions and reinstate him to the national team. Speaking during the final match of the 2025 Fashion Sakala Junior Eastern Province Tournament at DK Stadium, Inkosi Yamankosi Mpezeni expressed confusion over what Sakala might have done that could not be resolved amicably. Despite being excluded from recent national team selections, the chief commended Sakala for his unwavering support of grassroots football and his enduring dedication to national pride. Sakala, who funds the annual provincial tournament, has not featured in the recent Chipolopolo matches, prompting discussions among supporters about his absence. Zambia has emphasized the need for intensified global financial support to help achieve the Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) by 2030. Zambia's permanent representative to the United Nations, Dr. Chola Mirambo, highlights persistent challenges in sectors such as healthcare, education, and infrastructure across developing nations. Speaking ahead of the 4th International Conference on Financing for Development, which began yesterday in Seville, Spain, Dr. Milambo stressed that Zambia's involvement in the event reflects President Hakainde Hichilema's commitment to promoting inclusive and accessible financing solutions for developing countries. Zambia, in collaboration with Mexico, Nepal and Norway, has contributed significantly to shaping the conference's outcome document, ensuring that the priorities of the Global South are incorporated. The Zambian delegation to the conference will be led by Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mulambo Haimbe. This was revealed in a statement released to Icu Tv by Naomi Mwimba, the first secretary for press at the Zambia's embassy in France. We go for our second break. Join us on the other side as we bring to you international news.
Welcome to the Zambia Research and Development Center, an institution dedicated to national development through capacity building and community development. Established in 2007 by a group of professionals and lecturers, ZRDC has since become a hub of research and innovation in the country. Registered with the Ministry of Home Affairs under the Registrar of Societies, ZRDC pursues cutting-edge research to address pressing social and economic challenges. Get involved. ZRDC engages in activities that stimulate international collaboration, promote knowledge sharing, and make research expertise available to decision makers. Our mission at ZRDC is to foster innovation and capacity building for national development. We believe in addressing poverty and underdevelopment through institutional and capacity building, human empowerment, and gender participation. In our quest to foster innovation and capacity building for national development, ZRDC launched the ZRDC University Sponsorship for Capacity Building and Development Program to facilitate knowledge advancement among ZRDC researchers and those intending to join the research community. Qualified Zambian citizens can pursue education at credible universities in Zambia with guaranteed prospects of joining the ZRDC research community. ZRDC engages in industrial and technological research, covering research development and innovative investigations to drive dynamic industrial development at national and regional levels. Join us at the Zambia Research and Development Center as we continue to innovate, empower, and shape a brighter future for Zambia. ZRDC, fostering innovation and capacity building for national development.
Thank you very much for still staying with us, and now we continue with international news. Iran's Deputy Foreign Minister, Majid Takht Ravanchi, has stated that the US must rule out further strikes on Iran if it wants to resume diplomatic talks. The US has expressed interest in returning to negotiations through mediators, but Iran wants clarity on the US's position regarding attacks during the talks. The demand comes after recent military operations, including a US bombing raid on Iranian nuclear sites and Israel's military operations, disrupted talks between the two countries. A sixth round of talks was set to take place in Muscat before the military operations. Iran maintains its right to enrich uranium for peace purposes and rejects claims it is secretly developing nuclear weapons. Still in international news, Israel has intensified its assault on Gaza, issuing forced evacuation orders for parts of northern Gaza and conducting heavy airstrikes that have killed dozens of Palestinians, including children. At least 58 Palestinians were killed across the Gaza Strip, with many more injured. The Israeli military claims it is targeting Hamas command center and militant infrastructures, but critics argue that civilians are bearing the brunt of the violence. The Israeli military launched fresh ground and air assaults focusing on northern Gaza, with residents describing a relentless barrage of shelling and airstrikes. Tanks moved into the eastern Zaytan district of Gaza City, while warplanes targeted several schools where civilians had sought shelter. And in our sports news, Football Association of Zambia FAZ President Keith Mwimba laid tributes at the burial of veteran football administrator Highness Saili, described her as a pioneer of women's games. Speaking during the ceremony held at Leopards Hill Memorial Park, Mwimba praised Mama Saili's enduring dedication to the sport, particularly during its formative years in the early 90s. He emphasizes the importance of honoring contributors to the game while they are still alive and encouraged the Copper Queens to win their WAFCON opener in tribute to her legacy. Mama Saili, who passed away on Friday following an illness, was instrumental in organizing the Women's League during its early development. Still in sports news, and that sports story brings us to the end of our news. But before we go, let's take a quick recap at stories that made headlines. Lusaka City Council disperses 11.4 million kwacha in CDF loans to Matero constituency. Fuel prices reduced for July 2025. Ministry of Defense receives 17 million kwacha for ZNS voluntary training, skills training. And in international news, Iran demands US guarantee against strikes for talks. And in sports news, FAZ President reads tribute at Mama Saili's burial. We would like to thank you for choosing to watch ICU TV. Remember, you can find us on all social media pages. We are ICU TV. You can also visit our website, that's ICU TV Zambia. Thank you for watching ICU TV, and I say stay blessed.